Okay, so now that everything is working properly just the way we expected, one of the things that could make your web request to fail most of the time could be when you have poor internet connection or you don't have internet connection at all. So to ensure that our app doesn't crash because of internet connectivity, we're going to have to do a check. Before we go ahead and perform our web request, let's first of all check for internet connectivity. If we have internet connectivity, then we can now proceed to make the request. But if there is no internet connectivity, we'll have to tell the user to connect the device either to a Wi-Fi network or use the mobile data. So to be able to check for internet connectivity, there is a particular Nugget package we have to download. So we're going to go to our Nugget package manager. So this is the Nugget package we're interested in. So we're going to go ahead and install this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click OK. Our connectivity plugin has now been installed successfully. So we're going to go ahead and use this plugin to check for internet connectivity before we go ahead and create our web request. So to do that, I'm going to go to this line. So here I'm going to say if cross connectivity. So I'm going to try to resolve this. So that has been resolved. So if cross connectivity dot current dot is connected. So we're going to put not here. So what we need to check is when our device is not connected to the internet. So that's why we added this not sign. When our device is not connected, we're going to go ahead and make a toast. So we're going to say no internet connection. Boom. So this will go ahead and display our toast. And we're going to go ahead and exit from this method because we don't want it to continue, right? So what I'm going to do will be to turn off my internet, and I'm going to try to use the app to fetch the weather of my desired city. Okay, so before we go ahead and run an app, let's put our device in airplane mode, right? In that way, we'll be very certain that we are not having access to any kind of connection. So our device is now in airplane mode. So let's go ahead and run our app. Okay, so let's go ahead and type in London. Okay, so as you can see, no internet connection, no internet connection. So this is some of the checks you possibly might need to do in your app to ensure that everything remains stable. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and enable my connectivity back, and also I'm going to turn back on my Wi-Fi connection. So there's one more thing we need to do, more like to improve the user experience of our app. So when a user clicks on check weather, we're going to go ahead and clean or clear the edit test, the city name edit test. So I'm going to go ahead and say city name edit test dot test. This will be equal to empty string. So this is more like to improve the user experience of your app. So we can now restart our emulator so that it will start having access to internet connectivity. So let's go ahead and run the app. So I'm going to go ahead and search for another city, say Ankara. So this should be the capital of Turkey. Okay, so we're now fetching our weather condition. Okay, so this worked. So one more thing we need to do. We need to make it in such a way that when our app starts, it will load a default city, right? So we'll go to the onCreate method. And we're going to call getWeather, and we'll pass it any city of our choice. You can go ahead and pass it London. So whenever our app starts, it will start up with London. So eventually, when we get to the point that we'll learn how to fetch our current location coordinates, we can also do it in such a way that when you start your app, it will automatically load the weather condition of the place that you are at that current moment. So at this point, I can currently hit my chest that you can build your own weather application. So you can go ahead and download the source codes in the next lecture. You feel free to edit it the way you like, customize it, and also continue with the course so that you can learn how to publish your own apps to Play Store. So guys, see you in the next section.